I feel called to share the story of a mom that I spoke with last week who has a second grader. And she doesn't have any official diagnosis of anything, but she's been struggling in school since kindergarten. She's been in reading groups. She gets extra help. Teachers have told her often in conferences and on report cards that she's so fun and she's so awesome to have in class, but she's really starting to fall behind. And in kindergarten, she was struggling with her letters. She couldn't hear sounds and words. In first grade, she was being sent home books, and the mom noticed that she could not read the books. She kept looking at the picture, trying to figure out what the story was, but she never looked at the words. And now she's in second grade, and she's getting sent home these longer books that are trickier and have a lot of different ideas and different characters and their dialogue. They're talking to each other, and she can't keep it straight. And this mom told me she has this immense guilt in her heart because she knew in kindergarten that she was a little behind, but she didn't do anything about it. She assumed that the school would take care of it. She assumed that that was their job, that she should just stay out of it. She's probably going to make it worse if she tries to do anything. And when she was looking into tutors, she was looking at $100 a week, and she was going, I don't know if I can pay $100 a week for my daughter to go to a 30-minute tutoring session. And she's 5 and 6 years old. It'll probably be fine. But now she came to me at second grade saying, I feel a lot of guilt around this. The mom felt like she hadn't been doing enough for her daughter. And it broke my heart. It broke my heart because clearly this mom cared deeply, but she was confused. She didn't know how to help. She didn't know who to reach out to and what her best next step was, because it is expensive to get a tutor. And it can feel like, well, maybe it'll be okay if we just let it go. And this is what I told her. First of all, I told her she's a great mom, because she is. Anyone who cares deep enough to reach out to someone on the internet and talk to them about their child, they care deeply. And honestly, of the 3,000 families we've helped inside of our reading relief system, the parents that show up and ask questions and show concerns, they're the ones where their kids end up really, really good at the end, because they have parents who care, who are action taking, who are involved. So I told her, your daughter's going to be fine as long as you stick with her. You don't give up on her. And we work on maybe a little bit more than just her reading skills. And this is what caught her attention, because she had never been told that before. She had always been told, just keep reading to her, or do these flashcards, or download this app that has a cute little monster, so she's going to love it. She goes, well, what do you mean we're going to work on more than just reading? And I told her that what I found with these 3,000 families is that when we can layer in 2 other parts, so we work on the reading skills, okay? We target what she needs. If she still needs letters, we're going to go back and work on letters. If she still needs to work on hearing sounds and words, we're going to go back and we're going to work on hearing sounds and words. We're going to do all that. But 2 other things that we need to help her with for her to catch up. 1, I call it brain love. That's right, brain love. We're going to teach her about how the brain learns. Basic, just very basic neuroscience. How neurons talk to each other. What the pathways are that they create, and how we can use those pathways to make them so they actually stick. If we can teach her more about why we're doing what we're doing, she's much more likely to show up and give all her effort. Too many times we just expect kids to do it. Do this phonics worksheet, read this story, write these words, and we're never explaining what's actually happening inside their brain. When we unlock that for kids, especially neurodivergent kids, you're going to see your child's motivation skyrocket. She got really excited by this because she said her daughter's really interested in like doctor stuff, and she's not scared of blood. Like, she likes learning about like the inside stuff. She's like, I think she might really get into this. I'm like, yeah. And we don't get into like the gross stuff. We're not like analyzing, dissecting brains or anything, but we get to know how the brain is working. The second thing that we need, actually the third thing. So we need to work on the skills. We need to be working on brain love, teaching kids about how their brain learns and works and all that fun stuff. And the third thing is we need to work on what I call self skills. Self skills are self-worth, self-confidence, self-advocacy, self-talk, all these things that are more internal. They're harder to see, but they're really, really important. And for a kiddo that's been struggling because she had been struggling for 2 years up to that point, right? All of kindergarten, all of first grade. There's a good chance she had some negative self-talk. She had some, it's going to lag, but it'll come back to her. She had some negative confidence on herself. Maybe her confidence was down. Maybe her self-worth was down. Maybe she didn't know how to ask for help when things felt tricky. And that's a whole other skill set that as our kids get older, second grade on up, and I would say all kids, honestly, but especially if they've been struggling for years, we have to intentionally address these things. We can't just assume that, okay, I'll teach short vowels and long vowels and everything will be fine. We now need to also work on some other areas of their brain and of their understanding. And that's how we're going to catch them up quicker and in a way that feels so good for everyone. So, moral of the story. If you have a child who's been struggling, whether it's 6 months or for years, it has to be more than just working on skills. It has to be more than just letters and phonics and fluency and comprehension. That's part of the puzzle. But we also need to be teaching our kids about how their brain learns, and we also need to intentionally be working on their self skills. And when we can combine those 3 things, your child is unstoppable. Your child is unstoppable. And really quick for the brain love, if you have a child with ADHD, with dyslexia, with autism, when you can teach them what that means inside their brain, I know for me, I'm autistic and I have ADHD. When I learned what that actually meant, when I could understand how my prefrontal cortex and my dopamine and all this different things in my brain was ticking, it made a whole lot more sense, and it made me a lot kinder to myself. It really did. Because I knew it's not that I'm broken. This is just how I was born. And now I can find ways to help myself and support myself in a way that really works with my brain. And it's the same for your child if they are neurodivergent. Helping them understand their neurodivergent brain is such a gift that I hope every child can experience who has differently wired brains. It was such a gift for me. So yes, 3 things: reading skills, brain love, self skills. Combine those and your child will thrive. And then add in a parent who cares and who is an action taker. Stop. Your kids are going to be amazing. I have more information about how I can help you down in the description, because this is my life's passion. This is my mission, is to open up your child's brilliance for the world to see, because your child is brilliant and capable. And we all deserve to see that. They deserve to feel that inside of themselves. And you shouldn't have to go through this journey alone. It can feel very lonesome as a parent of a neurodivergent child. It doesn't have to be that way. So check out the description. I'll put some information about how I help families. Smash that subscribe button if you haven't yet, because I would love to have you follow along, and it really helps our little company grow and expand and help more families. So thank you in advance. You are awesome, and I will catch you in the next one.